Mic check. Ain't no sunshine where we from. You heard? What do you ask your brother man from the motherland? Coming to you guys live from the NY, back with another one of that ROD pod. Let me make sure you guys can hear me nice and clear. We don't want no discrepancies. Yeah. But if it's your first time joining the channel, come into the whole shebang. I'm about to say come into the page, but coming onto the channel, please like, comment, share, subscribe, join the movement, join the awakening, join the facts over beliefs. We outside, we outside, we outside. Yeah, man. I will be lying if I told you I'm not upset right now. I will be lying if I told you I wasn't disappointed. I will be lying if I told you that, America never seems to amaze us as black people. I would be lying. So I don't know, matter of fact, I know you guys don't know, but mass media has not been speaking about how ISIS patrolmen are using immigrated children to find their parents, to arrest, and to deport them. Mass media is not talking about how ISIS is following children to their home, to their resting place, and invade that place and arrest these parents. And what makes matters even worse is when they ship the parents, they keep the children. When they ship the parents, they keep the children. So why isn't mass media talking about this? I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna show you why. ISIS using children as bait. This is the cruel reality, guys. Let's go. Let's start it off accordingly. Peace and power, family. Welcome to a raw and unfiltered episode exposed on a horrific tactic that's happening right in our communities. Immigration and custom enforcement, which you guys call the ICE, is using our most vulnerable, our children, as unwitting bait to capture their undocumented parents. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This ain't some distant problem or exaggerated claim. This is happening right here, right now, in our neighborhoods, in Brooklyn, in the Bronx, in Queens. While mainstream media stays silent, got you focusing on LeBron James, got you focusing on P. Diddy, got you focusing on everything other than what's being done. Huh? Families are being torn apart through one of the most inhumane, I repeat, inhumane enforcement tactics imaginable. Prepare yourself for the cold, hard, not the truth, but the facts that the powers that be don't want you to know about. It's time to get woke to the reality our immigrant brothers and sisters are facing right now. Let's go. When kids become bait, they're targeting schools. School zones that were once safe havens now become hunting grounds for ICE agents carrying photos of parents they seek to detain and deport. This is facts. ISIS is in these children's areas watching pictures of parents with them with their parents by themselves. Who knows? But they're watching. Stalking our children. Straight up stalking kids as they walk home, watching and waiting for their perfect moment to strike when their parents come to greet them. This is what's going on, guys. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, good, good, good. As long as you guys can hear me, I'm happy. Traumatizing families, creating deep psychological trauma in children who witness their parents being handcuffed and taken away right before their eyes. And then after they're taken away, they're put into a system. Now, a system that I have worked in, a field that I have been in for over 10 years. Now, they put these children in a system that's historically from a person like myself from the inside. These children are being put in a system that is designed to fail them. Now, how does that affect the average so-called Black American with his papers born on the land? How does that affect them? Now, when the system fails them, which it will, which it has always been proven. When the system fails them and the cost of living goes up and the pressures of having clothes and money and just being able to have fun like everybody else becomes a necessary, not a necessity, but a necessary. These children are then going to be in your streets, causing crime, robberies, assault, maybe kidnap, maybe SA. Who knows? We know, because guess what? It's happening right now. Not to the high degree of, essays and stuff like that. But these little homies is running around, robbing. And guess what happens? Guess what happens? A warrant gets issued out for these children. Easy slavery, guys. Ship the parents, keep the child, put them in a situation where you know the possibilities of failing is greater than success, and allow that young man to go into the streets and cause nothing but chaos. And then guess what? We got the slave catchers posted up on the corner. Grab them, throw them in jail. And now that's an easy 50,000, probably even more. Not to mention the other ones that going to be, not to mention, excuse me, not to mention the other ones that's going to end up missing. I know. But where's the media behind it? Why isn't the media talking about this? Why? How come this information literally was word out on the streets? This is street information. This is not off the news. This ain't off social media. This ain't off Instagram, Facebook. This is straight off the streets, straight off the street press. And shout out to those that provided the intel. But why isn't social media talking about it? I had a conversation with the Wiz, and I had to tell her. I said, maybe now we got to start questioning Trump. Like, damn, so maybe wanting Trump in office, maybe that was probably a bad idea. No, it wasn't. Because it doesn't matter who's in that seat. It will always be one coin with two different sides. But the mission and the agenda remains the same. And that is to continue extorting, continue taking advantage, continue violating the El Kebule kidnaps all over the world, the AKs all over, the misfortunate, the less fortunate Europeans all over the world, the less fortunate people all over the world. You understand? But social media is not talking about that. Social media rather you just be silent and violent, wilding, and get a first. Listen, you're gonna get a first ticket to two places. You're going to jail or you're gonna end up in hell. Or you're gonna go to jail and then you're gonna end up with a story of how you prevail. That's just how they go for the black man. He's gonna come out, he's gonna rap, he's gonna say, I'm just talking my life. It's the same script over and over and over again. Media silence. When they stay quiet, they chose a side. See, black genocide is never to be on the forefront as a worldwide issue. No. You see, black genocide is what keeps these individuals in positions. You see, black genocide, black ignorance, black stupidity is what allows their children to go to the best schools, drive the best cars, probably come into your neighborhood, buy your community, probably go into your club, see your shorty, bag your shorty, violate. You know, the wickedest things that they doing to our black women out in Dubai is crazy. But this is what's going to be done. Okay? We are the ones giving these people the power. The power does not come from them. It's all from us. The decisions, the choices, the actions, all of these things are the reason why. Is the reason why. These people will come into your neighborhood, follow your children, yap your children, ship your children, and never speak about it. See, this is slavery. Now I understand when Trump was saying, make America great again. You see, he's not going to take it out on the African Americans, you know, the hardworking ones, et cetera, et cetera. The goal is to take it out on the migrants who still believe coming to America is the only option to having a great life, to live happily, to have a nice home, cars, et cetera, et cetera. They think that this is still the place. You see, these people know that something is about to happen. The system is rigged. The dollar gonna soon drop. And when this thing happens, and when it do occur, the only people that's going to be left in a position of power will be them. But as for us, there's a big um, conversation taking place right now in New York. The conversation is breaking down Coney Island and putting up a big casino. Now, let's just say hypothetically, this casino goes up. That means it's gonna be a area of attraction. And what they cannot afford to let happen is have ignorant niggers fuck up the money. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to militarize those areas, or they're going to add extra police presence, or they're going to do what every other projects in New York is doing. All these projects is being bought by private companies. Nobody knows the name. Nobody had never heard of them. Nothing. They're buying it. And they switching up the laws too. You see them landlord laws. See, when they put those laws in place, they put those laws in place to, you know, put a vice grip on the necks of homeowners. But now that they have invested in real estate, they have to put rules in place where we're now waiting 3 years no more, 6 years. I'm seeing marshals riding all through the neighborhoods now. They in the projects with it. They're not even in homes. They're in the projects with it. You see, the goal is to remove the black man out of the land that we built, right? We made Brooklyn what it is. Nobody want to hear nothing about no, mafia, Italian mafia, or F all that. We made Brooklyn what it is. Hip hop made Brooklyn what it is. Biggie made Brooklyn what it is. Best Style made Brooklyn what it is. Black Best Style made Brooklyn what it is. Black Flatbush made Brooklyn what it is. Black Church Avenue made Brooklyn what it is. There was no Brooklyn, no acknowledgement, no respect, honor, and revere of Brooklyn until we came on the scene and made it be known. You understand? But this place called Brooklyn, they said no. We like look how beautiful this place is. This place is a well lucrative barrel. But we can't have it to be sterile, filled with Negroes that's acting ignorant. We can't afford that. That's fucking with the money. So you know what we're gonna do? We're going to create laws. We're going to have checkpoints, have preventions. We're gonna open up prison complex, the biggest prison complex. I told you guys it was gonna be in the Bronx, but they're gonna start it off in the Manhattan first. And word on the street is every borough will have a big ass prison. These prisons will stand like skyscrapers, and they're gonna keep everybody in their district. They're gonna keep everybody in their borough. Oh yeah, listen, man. You guys don't even understand what's going on right now. And the fact that these people have used military tactics to follow children who spent 8 hours in school learning pure bullshit to then go home, to then walking home, minding their business, tired, just can't wait to go home and eat some labouille. Can't wait to go home and eat some legume and some sauce pois, some D cola. They can't wait to go home to see their mother and their father. Or they follow these people to their house, wait for them because their parents is probably home. Wait for their parents to say, "Oh, yep, that's them." And then wait until they're sound asleep and they kick in the door, raising the 4-4. All you heard was, "Don't let this ISIS heathenites come into my house no more." And that's what's going on. Controlling the narratives. They demand whose pain matters and who doesn't. Real talk. If this was happening in Westchester or the Upper East Side, CNN will be breaking into regular programming. But since it's happening to the black and brown folks in our hood, the silence is defiant. The media's selective outrage tell us everything we need to know about whose children they think deserves protection. You have to make that make sense, people. You have to make that make sense, people. Huh? When I tell you guys that there's a full-fledged attack on the black man, when I tell you guys that there was a orchestrated, well documented manuscript on how to destroy the black man. J. Edgar Hoover was there. Margaret Swinger was there. And a whole bunch of other individuals was there, and the objective was to do one thing and one thing only. How do we destroy these niggas slowly, but yet capitalize off them so we can continue being rich and wealthy? Now, I know you guys may find that hard to believe, hard to process, hard to digest, hard to understand. But these are the cold hearted facts. Facts over the belief. Let us continue. Historical slavery. This is bigger than immigration. Listen carefully, people. We gonna dance. Historical slavery, using family separations as a tool of control, just like on the plantation. Can you imagine a mother? Yo, listen, check this out. They're taking mothers and fathers who has been living in America for 30 plus years. They're taking children who's 15. So that means their parents has been here for like 20 years, 15 years. No problems, no felonies, no violation, nothing. Nothing that warrant a pink slip off this land. Because obviously they working. Obviously they grinding. Obviously they making money. If they was still here for 15, 20 plus years to produce children, especially those that become something in society. You telling me that don't matter. This is slavery at its highest order, guys. 20 years you could be invested into a business which is called America. And with a snap of a finger, you can receive a pink slip. I had a conversation with the Wiz. Now I'm gonna give you guys a little personal, conversation about me. So starting up the business and you know, being a brand new dad again, a lot of things come along with that. Bills, finance, sacrifices, you know, when you like, damn, I know I gotta do this, but I this is more important. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of those this is more important has occurred within my life within I say the last year. My son is two. My son is two today. Round of applause for that, by the way. So let's just say in the last 9 months. Let's just say 9 months, just to be on on a safe side. It has been more like, damn, I gotta take care of that more than I gotta take care of that. But I was speaking, and I remember a man said, if you're living your life as property, you're gonna receive what properties receive. A property. If you got a property and it's not taking care of itself, it gets the wears and tears, and it could collapse. You know what I'm saying? You have that choice, or you can create yourself as a business, open up a business, move as a business, never provide your information, your personal information. Separate the two, you from your business. Your business must stand alone. You see, these are things that we don't know. Why am I saying all of that? I'm saying that because I realize that this is in order for you to receive some level of success, for you to receive some level of comfortability. I'm talking about comfortability. Listen, there's enough money in America for every single black person to put their feet up, work how they want, live how they want. The reason why it seems like it can't happen is because we're still under the hypnosis. We're still under the hypnosis of self hate. We are still under the hypnosis of self hate. We do not, I repeat, we do not want to see the next black man lead, achieve, succeed. We don't want that. We believe that this man's better off to just bleed. You see, when the black man, when the black man realized that we have such power, that if we kept all this bread amongst us, and we refuse to to spend our money elsewhere. And when I say elsewhere, I'm talking about dealing with other nations. I'm talking about that. You understand? See, when you see how the so-called Jewish people function, everything, every dollar, everything is always generated around the community. The clothes that they wear is from the community. The shoes, the socks, the hat, the spoons, the knife. They don't get nothing outside of their community. We, on the other hand, getting anything from the community is considered low grade. It's considered bummish. You's a bum. Look at you. You can't you buying clothes from the hood. You buying clothes from these. Who this nigga right here? What is this? The heck is that? We don't understand that we is powerful and we have the tools, the mind, the heart. Do you really believe that if let's just say slavery was to occur again, you really believe that it will be as easy as they probably may think? No, because we have a power, and they know that. They know that. And I know I'm all over the place, but I just want you guys to understand how serious what's going on right now is. How the historical slavery is still here, still present, still active, still being conducted in 2025, right before your eyes. Mass incarceration, like I said. Take the parents, ship them off. Just imagine those that has criminal records. In America, you could do your time and then they'll deport you right after. So you get mass incarceration, mothers and fathers, aunties and uncles being yacked up, grandmas, grandpas being yacked up, shipped back, while these children is left defenseless, not even given the option to go back with their parents. How crazy is that? To end up in a system that is designed for them to fail. Like literally, these things is put inside for them to make stupid decisions and fail all the time. We gotta do better, man. The modern surveillance, watching our every move, creating fear in everyday activities. Now, listen, people. Let me show my face when I say this because I don't want you guys to, you know, be shocked or should I say disappointed. Now, I know that you guys probably heard of an accident that took place in Brooklyn where a lady somehow was speeding and she collided with three individuals, a mother, two daughters. And I think the little man, I think he got grazed, but he alright or something like that. I'm not too sure. But when I seen that, I instantly said to myself, watch they create something out of this. You see, you guys don't understand that whenever they want to put a tight squeeze on humanity, they always do something to the, you know what? They always do something to the Khazars. And then they make it so sad. And out of that becomes rules and regulations. Do you remember when the so-called hoo-hoo outbreak was happening in Williamsburg? And who was the ones being affected? Mind you, people, not a single outbreak in the black community. But out of nowhere was a bill or law written that says it is no longer accepted for any child to bring forth any religious exempts, only medical exemptions, and the medical exemptions must be fully detailed. Hmm. Yeah, I know. I know. Fully detailed. Hmm. Telling you, man. Like it's like my brain starts hurting, and I just get frustrated. because they're gonna put something in place that's going to affect us. They're going to put something in place. I promise you. Just wait and see. I promise you. It's never late. It's never late. I'm from, listen, people, listen carefully. From those areas. These individuals will never, and I repeat, never allow them to walk. Especially the little boy about 4 years old by himself. Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't want to make it a conspiracy. If these individuals passed away, may the creators have mercy on their souls. But if not, hey, I don't know. Let us continue. Now, you know, the goal and the job for us as the El Kebule and Kidnap is to spread the facts, to talk the facts, to tell individuals that if it's not facts, we don't want it. You see, when I leave spread the truth, I like to leave that there because I want you to remember you can't spread something that's just not there. You can't spread something that's just not there. There's no truth in this earth. Everything has been a lie. Everything that we have been told has been a lie. Everything. Everything was told to control. It was never to open up your soul. It was never allowing you to be bold or cold or swole, whatever you want to call it. It was never that. These people have not told us the truth for I don't know how many times, how many years. That's why I find it so hilarious when I see my brothers and my sisters solely depends on the writings and the ideologies and the philosophies and the viewpoints of those that don't look like them. I find it kind of crazy. Share this message on every platform. Text it, post it, post it, yell it if you have to. The first weapon against injustice is exposing it to the light. Protect our schools. Demand that your local schools become ISIS free zones. Organize parent groups to watch for suspect vehicles and report ICE presence in their schools. Now, you guys know that will never, ever, ever, ever happen. Never in life. You guys know that. You guys know that. Come on now. You got to make that make sense, people. You got to make that make sense. You got to make that make sense. Yeah. Hold on. Let me fix this mic. Make sure you guys can hear me nice and clear. But yeah. Then you got, the build support networks. There's no network because we still under the hypnosis of self-hate. We could never network. We could never build. Me and the Wiz had a conversation, and I always say that because we always be talking. Like when me and her we be rocking, we be rocking. When she be pissing me off, I just be leaving her alone like one of those in the Holocaust. You heard me? She be pissing me off. But we was having a conversation, and we was talking about how in 2019, 2020, there was so much black-owned businesses, so much restaurants, beautiful. The food, phenomenal. And 5 years later, it's literally a dead zone. It's literally a handful of stores. And the question that I ask is why? Why take on that responsibility of open up a restaurant knowing that the chances of you being able to sell and make enough profit to put in your pocket and to keep everything afloat? What makes you think? Hmm? I mean, you sometimes you gotta ask yourself these questions. Why would they allow black people to open up restaurants? Because it's the easiest way to put a black man in debt. I could put you in debt through rent, through the loan, through the manufacturers where you was buying yourself wholesale. Because when you start dealing with those people, they don't do certain, some people still do, but the average, because when I was in the fashion industry, maybe because I'm in the fashion industry, they don't do one purchase. They do contracts. Like I want to work with you for this project, that project, and that project. Sign this contract. And these same people that signing these contracts, I believe, and this is just me, I believe that the banks knew what was going on. They know that was gonna fail. They know, listen, they know that the black man, the chances of a black man watching another black man succeed, especially if that black man comes from where he comes from, very little. Because that hypnosis of self-hate is still here, it's still present. And we don't want to let it go. We gotta let it go. Gotta break it. Gotta break it. But yo, this is my time, guys. Okay? You already know, man. Like and share, drop a comment, join the movement. Join the movement. If you didn't join then, please join that now. We outside, we out here working. We out here trying to bring that kingdom back. You heard? That kingdom is the vocabulary where we belong. We want our land back. And that's a damn fact. It's your brother, man. You understand? And I'm a holler.